Did you know that Africa has more countries than any other continent? 54 amazing countries, each with its own unique story. And guess what? Our human story starts right there in Africa. That's why it's often called the cradle of humankind. So, buckle up, history explorers, because we're about to go on an incredible adventure through time. Forget what you think you know, because we're about to uncover the real Africa, a land of amazing cultures, powerful kingdoms, and people who changed the world. Long, long ago, before there were even cities or castles anywhere else, humans were already walking around in Africa. Scientists have found some of the oldest human bones and tools there. That means that everyone on Earth, no matter where they live, has ancestors from Africa. Think of Africa as the starting point of the whole human story. Now, let's jump ahead to a place you've probably heard of, Egypt. Ancient Egypt was one of the first great civilizations. It grew up along the Nile River and built massive pyramids, temples and monuments. The Egyptians were super smart. They invented writing called hieroglyphics, figured out amazing mathematics, and even knew a lot about medicine. Egyptian pharaohs were like superpowered kings and queens who ruled for a long time. But Africa wasn't just about Egypt. All over the continent, other amazing societies were popping up. They were building their own cities, developing their own cultures, and trading with each other. These weren't just small villages. Some were powerful kingdoms, controlling huge areas and lots of people. Now, let's talk about trade. Africa wasn't cut off from the rest of the world. People traveled across deserts and sailed across seas to trade goods. Gold, salt, and other valuable things were exchanged. African kingdoms became wealthy and powerful because of this trade. They traded with people in Europe, Asia, and even the Middle East. It was a global network long before airplanes and the internet were even a thing. But the story of Africa isn't always a happy one. A very dark chapter is about slavery. For many centuries, people were taken from Africa and forced to work in other countries. First, the Arab slave trade took around 18 million people across the Sahara Desert and the Indian Ocean. Later, the Atlantic slave trade transported millions more, perhaps 7 to 12 million across the Atlantic Ocean to the Americas. This was a terrible crime against humanity, and it caused immense suffering. It ripped families apart and changed the course of history. The effects of slavery are still felt today. Then came a time called colonialism. European countries decided they wanted to control parts of Africa. They divided up the continent, drawing lines on maps that didn't care about the people who actually lived there. They took resources like gold, diamonds, and rubber. This hurt African economies and cultures. Some Africans fought back bravely, but it was a difficult struggle. Colonization brought new technologies and ideas, but it also caused a lot of pain and injustice. But the story doesn't end there. In the 1950s and 1960s, a wave of independence movement swept across Africa. People demanded their freedom and the right to rule themselves. One by one, countries became independent. Leaders like Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana and Nelson Mandela in South Africa became heroes, inspiring people all over the world. Libya was one of the first to gain independence in 1951. It was a tough fight, but Africans were determined to build their own future. Today, Africa is a continent of vibrant, diverse nations. There are still challenges, like poverty and conflict, but there's also incredible progress. The African Union is an organization that helps African countries work together. They are trying to solve problems, promote peace, and build a better future for everyone. Modern Africa is shaped by its past. The borders drawn during colonialism still cause problems sometimes. Many countries still rely on agriculture and natural resources. But Africans are working hard to build strong economies, improve education, and create opportunities for their people. Africa's story is still being written. It is a story of resilience, innovation, and hope. It is a story that everyone should know. So, next time you think of Africa, remember that it's more than just safaris and pyramids. It's a continent with a long and rich history, a place where humanity began, and a land of incredible potential. It's a story that connects us all. Africa is not just one country, it's a continent with 54 countries. It's home to over 2,000 languages and thousands of different cultures. Remember that Africa's history is important because it's our history. It's the story of humanity itself. And it's a story that's still unfolding today.